I'm going to talk about today's lesson, which was an extension of PEMDAS. And it's really similar to our previous lesson, which was about PEMDAS. It's about evaluating the order of operations, evaluating expressions, and we're just adding one more thing to this first part of PEMDAS. We have parentheses, but then we can also have brackets around the parentheses. Sometimes you group small expressions, but then you want to group those parentheses again. And I'll do some word problems after this to show situations where you might want to do that. But first we'll talk about evaluating these. So if you're going to simplify if you're going to simplify an expression like this, the first thing that you would do is do everything that is all the groups that are on the inside. And then you work your way out. So we have some brackets out here, but inside the bracket we have parentheses. So we do those parentheses first, then we evaluate what's in the brackets, and then the whole thing. So we're going to go through those steps on these three problems. Here, we start out with 15 minus 5, and we get 10. They already did that part for us. Okay. And then we do 9 minus 3, and we get 6. So now we have 10 plus 6 inside of brackets. Now we need to simplify what's in the brackets. 10 plus 6 is 16. So now we can add the 12, which was on the outside. We do that last. 12 plus 16 is 28. Okay, so this becomes 28. Now this one, same thing. We have brackets surrounding some parentheses. So we do what's on the inside first. We do these parentheses. So 26 minus 4 is 22. 4 plus 6 is 10. So now I have 5 times 22 minus 10. Now 22 minus 10 are in brackets. So that becomes 12. I have 5 times 12, and that gives me 60. For this problem, I do, once again, I have some brackets and I have parentheses inside the brackets. So I'm going to do these parentheses first. 18 minus 10 is 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. And so this becomes 36 divided by 8 minus 2. And the 8 and the 2 are in the brackets, so we simplify what's in the brackets first. And that becomes a 6. We have 36 divided by 6, and our answer is 6. So we have this problem here. A gift shop had 500 colored pencils. The shop sold 3 sets of 20 colored pencils, 6 sets of 12 colored pencils, and 10 sets of 18 colored pencils. Which expression shows how many colored pencils are left? Well, I'm going to start out by just underlining the quantities of the different pencils. Okay, we had 500 colored pencils, and then we sold all this other stuff. So we're gonna start out with 500, and then we're gonna subtract all the stuff we sold. So let's look at these problems here and see if there's any we can eliminate. Well, this one shows us subtracting 500 from something. Well, we are actually subtracting all the stuff we sold from 500. So A is not it. And C is also not it, because here it shows us adding 500 to something, or something to 500. When we sell stuff, our inventory goes down. It does not go up. We don't add to our inventory if we sell stuff, because people are buying it and they're taking it out of your store. That's definitely not it. So it's either this one or this one. So now I can look at all the stuff that I'm selling. So I have 3 sets of 20 colored pencils. So if I had 3 boxes and each box had 20 colored pencils, to find the total number of pencils in that set, in those 3 sets, it would be 3 times 20. Okay, so now let me look at this one. I have 6 sets of 12 colored pencils, so that would be 6 times 12. 6 boxes with 12 pencils each. And then I have 10 sets of 18 colored pencils. That gives me 10 times 18. Okay, so if I were going to add these three up, that would give me the total number of pencils that I sold. And then I would take that and divide it by 500. And if I look here, I have 3 times 20, I have 6 times 12, and I have 10 times 18. I'm adding them together. Then I put brackets around it. Now what's inside the brackets represents what I sold. And I take this entire quantity and subtract it from 500, so this is it. So Anya buys 8 oranges every Monday morning at the farmer's market. She gives 6 away and eats the rest. Every Friday she buys 6 oranges, gives 5 away, and eats the rest. So they gave us the expression, and they want us to simplify it. So this is how many oranges she buys on Monday, and this is the number she gives away. So what's in this parentheses is how many she eats on Monday. And here, it says every Friday she buys 6 oranges, it gives 5 away. So this quantity represents how many she eats on Friday. So if we add these together, that's how much she eats total every week. And then we multiply that by the number of weeks in a year to find out how many she eats in a year. And there are 52 weeks in a year. Okay, so we're going to simplify this. First, we simplify the inside brackets. 8 minus 6 is 2, 6 minus 5 is 1, and then we have 52 times 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 is in the bracket, so we simplify that first. So we get 3. 52 times 3. So now I can just multiply. I get 156, and my answer is C. So here it gives us some expressions, and we need to figure out which one has a value of 4. So let me start at the bottom. I have 2 sets of parentheses inside of brackets. So since these are on the inside, I do these first. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. So now I have this inside my brackets. Subtract 9. 9 plus 16 is 25. So now I have 25 minus 9, and that is 16. That is not 4. So it's not D. So C gives us 4 times 5, that's 20. And minus 9 plus 7, which is 16. So I evaluate this, and I evaluate this because they're in parentheses, and they're on the inside of the brackets. So I'm going to put my brackets here. And 20 minus 16 is 4. And I multiply that by 9. And I get 36. 36 is not 4, so that's not it. So here I have 20. 4 times 5 is 20. 9 plus 7 is 16. I'm adding those inside brackets, and I divide by 9. Now 20 plus 16 is 36. I divide that by 9, and I get 4. And B is my answer, but I'm going to do this one anyway. 4 times 5 is 20. 9 plus 7 is 16. I add those together inside my brackets. I add 9. 20 plus 16 is 36. And I get 36 plus 9. And that gives me 45. And that's how you evaluate expressions with brackets.